And welcome back to the most amazing channel on the internet. I'm your most amazing host, Rebecca Felgate, and today we're talking the top 10 biggest Olympic scandals. Because we all know the Olympics aren't always the most above board institution. Now before I get into this video, I just want to remind you guys to hit that thumbs up button. Also, I'd like to invite you to leave a comment telling me what your favourite sport is at the Olympics. I'm actually going to try and respond to a few of the comments, so see you there. My favourite has to be curling, it's just so good. Okay, Olympic scandals. So let's start with a recent and ongoing issue with Russia and their alleged state-sponsored doping. This is coming in at number 10. So during the 2014 Sochi Winter Olympics, the Russian team were amid a scandal of alleged state-sponsored doping. Russia, by the way, has had the most Olympic medals stripped for doping violations ever, totaling 43. So as far as a lot of people are concerned, Russia had been up to it for a long time. By the time the 2016 Brazil Olympics rolled around, doping allegations were still high, and eventually a World Doping Agency report found evidence of a 4-year state doping program. As a result, Russia was banned from the 2018 Winter Olympics in South Korea, much to the disappointment of the Kremlin. Coming in at number 9, we have the 1980 and 1984 boycotts. While these two Summer Olympics were separate events, both were plagued with political squabblings and boycotts. In 1980, United States President Jimmy Carter boycotted the Moscow Olympics in the midst of the Cold War. The American team's absence was said to be in response to the Soviet invasion of Afghanistan. When 1984 rolled round, guess who was boycotting the American Olympics? Guys. Coming in at number 8, we have the Marion Jones doping scandal. Marion Jones was an all-American hero who won 3 golds and 2 bronze medals at the 2000 Summer Olympics in Sydney. Marion had often been accused of taking performance-enhancing drugs, something that she routinely denied. This was until she was involved in the Balco scandal. It seems during the Sydney Olympics, she was using a designer steroid said to be undetectable by drugs tests. In 2007, she was stripped of her 5 Olympic medals. Now this was the start of a slippery slope for the disgraced athlete, who was later sentenced to 6 months in jail for check fraud. Coming in at number 7, we have the Nancy Kerrigan scandal. In January 1994, figure skater Nancy Kerrigan was attacked as she left a skating practice ahead of that year's Winter Olympics. Nancy was bludgeoned in the leg by a police baton, and the direct aftermath was caught on camera. The footage of Nancy crying and screaming is now infamous and was shared worldwide. The attacker turned out to be Jeff Gillooly, the ex-husband of her rival Tonya Harding. Now this made the scandal very attractive for the tabloids. So despite the sabotage attempt, the event actually made her really famous and won her much public adoration. Although she still did have to withdraw from the US Championships, she did recover in time for the Olympics and won a silver medal. Coming in at number 6, we have the Oscar Pistorius murder scandal. Shortly after finding fame and fortune as a result of the 2012 Olympics and Paralympics, the below-knee double amputee was arrested for shooting and killing his girlfriend Reva Steenkamp. The runner was the first double-leg amputee to participate in the Olympics, and he was considered a beacon of hope for all aspiring athletes with a disability. Sadly, his domestic abuse allegations ruined his progressive impact on the sport, and a young woman lost her life as a result of his recklessness. In the early hours of Valentine's Day in 2013, Pistorius shot the 29-year-old model through a bathroom door as he allegedly mistook her for an intruder. He was later found guilty of culpable homicide. Coming in at number 5, we have the Beijing social cleansing scandal. Exact numbers are not known, but the Chinese authorities ordered a cleanup of the city, sparking human rights concerns, although many of those who spoke out against the state were arrested. It is thought that the Chinese officials used brutal force to evict poorer people living in slums around the city. Now some estimated 1.5 million people were thrown from their homes. Now where exactly these people ended up, we don't know. Coming in at number 4, we have the female athlete revealed to be a man and stripped of her medals. Now this was big news at the time. In 1936, Dora Ratchen was on the German women's athletic team and competed in the high jump. Just 2 years later, she was stopped and frisked on a train and admitted that actually she was a male. Her women's team peers had no idea, they simply thought that she was shy and didn't like showering naked. When pressured into telling the truth, Dora said that she'd grown up believing she was a girl, although some years later she said that the Nazis had made her pose as a woman in order to win medals at the Olympics. Now this brings me to a much bigger scandal at number 3. We have the entire fanfare that was the Nazi Olympics. The The 1936 Nazi Olympics caused many a scandal. Held in Berlin, Adolf Hitler used the games to highlight German prominence. Jewish people and black people were largely ousted from the competition, and the whole event was one big indoctrination parade showcasing Aryan strength. The majority of the spectators gave the Nazis salute before the games, and concerningly, most countries, including the United States and the UK, didn't boycott the games. Coming in at number 2, we have the Munich Massacre. So this is one of the worst Olympic disasters of all time. Despite the 1972 Munich Games wanting to remain apolitical, they fell at a time of tension between East and West Germany, as well as at the height of issues between Israel and Palestine. Sadly, 8 members of the Palestinian group Black September posed as athletes and were helped by members of the Canadian team into the village. They didn't realise that the men weren't fellow sportsmen. The gang infiltrated the Israeli camp and killed 11 members of the Olympic wrestling team. They also killed 1 police officer. Now, it seems they'd originally wanted to negotiate the release of prisoners in Palestine, but the whole plot went wrong and turned into a mass murdering spree. Finally, at number 1, we have the Estadio Nacional disaster. Bad crowd management at the 1964 Tokyo Olympics qualifying tournament led to the death of 328 people. Now, this actually makes it the worst disaster in football history. A number of factors culminated in the catastrophe. A bad decision from a referee angered home fans, who then began a pitch invasion. The invasion got out of hand as there was not enough security on hand to defuse the situation. The local police then decided to deploy tear gas to stop fans further invading the pitch. Now, then, to avoid the tear gas, panic attendees tried to escape down a stairwell, but unfortunately, the shutters at the end were locked, but the people were still piling down the stairs and they didn't know that, so a crush formed. Now, all 328 deaths came from either internal hemorrhaging or suffocation. Many consider the disaster to have been totally avoidable. So guys, that was the top 10 biggest Olympic scandals. Do let me know what you think to this. Also, do let me know whether or not you think Oscar Pistorius is guilty or not guilty. I can't quite decide. Thank you guys for watching this episode of Most Amazing Top 10. If you liked it, make sure you give it a good thumbs up, share it with a friend, and stay subscribed for more videos. I'm Rebecca Felgate, and I'll see you next time.